Hey guys, and welcome back to Sailing by Felicia. This week we had Lisa's mother and father come visit. We had tons of fun plans for them. We had a picnic planned, and then the next morning we were taking them to scuba dive the reef.
We had a breakdown. We got stranded out there overnight.
We had to get towed back in and figure out how to get the engine to start. That was our first breakdown. I'm sure it won't be the last, but it was double embarrassing because we had family on board. This is Bahia Honda State Park. This is where we broke down at. So we just got the jib sail up, our very first time raising a sail.
We're sailing!
Do you want to push the that red button?
Off.
As we approach the Bahia Honda State Park and we see the bridges that we're going to be anchoring inside of, we take a second and we look at the overnight conditions. The keys are a series of islands with small spaces in between them, and the currents travel very fast in between those bottlenecks. So we discovered it was a full moon, and that there's going to be a high tidal exchange, meaning there are strong currents in between the bridges. So Lisa and I had a conversation about if we want to commit to anchoring between the bridges, because should our anchor drag, you don't want to have anything behind you in an ideal circumstance. So having bridges on both sides of us, if we drag either direction, there's an object for us to run our new boat into. So we chose that we felt confident about the boat and its anchor that we put some love into recently, and we chose to anchor there. 2 hours later, we had no working engine, and we were really scared.
In episode 11, we talked a little bit about my parents coming out. They bought a new trailer. Actually, before COVID, it was kind of my dad's retirement plan to get this trailer and travel around the U.S. They drove all the way here from San Diego. It had this fantastic idea for them when they got out here that we would take them out to Bahia Honda, which is a well-known state park around here. We would anchor out there. My mother isn't the best swimmer. In fact, she doesn't even know how to swim. And my dad gets seasick. So we didn't want to subject them to stay on the boat overnight. So we picked a spot that we can get in and out of an area pretty easily with our dinghy.
Right. We dinghied them out to the boat. About the time we put out snacks, we wanted to fire up the engine to move over a little bit, and the engine wouldn't start. So we cut dinner short, we sent them in, and we spent the night in Anchorage with no working engine. Knowing the engine wouldn't start if I needed it to, and knowing there was a full moon and strong currents switching every 6 hours, and either side, if the anchor drags, I'm going to be putting the rigging into a bridge. That was concerning. I didn't get a lot of sleep that night. I spent most of the night on the top deck. I had anchor alarms set very, very conservatively, so if we moved at all, I'd be woken up. Yeah, but the anchors held, thanks to the work we did in episode 13, where we upgraded our anchor system on our boat. Yeah, so held well.
Next day, we wake up. She still wasn't turning over, so we had to call for a tow service and get towed back to our marina.
This is the part of the engine that that turns the engine off when we're ready to turn it off. This is the stop relay. And what happened was some salt water got into this wire harness and it completely corroded the relay. Put the key in the on position, it would engage the stop solenoid, meaning the engine could not turn on. So I was really scratching my head when I went through my couple hours of troubleshooting that I put in. I thought it was a fuel issue. I thought it may have been fuel pump. I thought it may have been sediment. I thought it may have been air in the lines. I bled all the fuel system, cracked the injectors, did all the things. And ultimately I just stopped because I didn't want to damage anything more by, exceeding my level of expertise. And I'm glad I did, because I would have never thought to have looked at this.
Matt and my dad finally actually got to scuba dive out here. My dad was so excited. He's just, as a child, he's been into diving and photography.
Mm-hmm.
So when he went down there with Matt and came back, he was telling my mother and I how it was like the Jacques Cousteau movies. And that's saying something.
Her father's an avid diver in South California, which is a very specific, to San Diego, very specific type of diving. You have a lot of kelp, a lot of seals, a lot of cold water, a lot of difficult surf entries. I've had the privilege of being able to work as a dive professional in Southern California. I ran a boat in San Diego for a while, and it's really cool out there, but it's totally different than diving the coral reef in Florida or Caribbean. We have the third largest coral reef system in the entire world. It goes all the way from Miami and goes down past the Keys. And of that coral reef system that runs from Miami to Key West, there's some parts that are prettier than other parts. Looe Key is the most pristine piece of reef that we have in the Florida Keys. So that's where we wanted to take her father scuba diving.
Them to the Diving History Museum. That has the largest collection of, sea scuba helmets?
A History of Diving Museum on mile marker 99, I think it is. It's up the Keys a bit. They have the largest collection of diving helmets in the world. Every country that's ever produced a diving helmet is represented in their display case. I can't say enough about this. So I've been diving professionally for 19 years now. I started with the fire department, where we started doing really tough working diving. When I moved to Key West, I went to school to become a dive instructor, but also to become a scientific diver, as well as a commercial diver, like a construction diver. So I'm full hard hat certified. I've done most of my training with the more modern Kirby Morgan helmets, but to me, surface air supply diving and hard hat diving is a special discipline of diving, and it has a special place in my heart. So to me, this was a really great place to experience with Lisa and share my love of diving as well as her father.
I wanted to say that it was really cool because they had, like you said, all these helmets from around the world, and that we were able to see a helmet from Korea, and that's where my mom's from South Korea.
It's really
so
cool.
Yeah, it was really neat.
In addition to the diving helmets, they also have a room dedicated to 1 atmosphere suits. 1 atmosphere suits are very unique. I've never trained or even considered being able to dive in one. When you get into 1 atmosphere suit, it's made of hard walls, meaning the water pressure around you can't compress your suit. I felt the obligation to kind of recreate the energy of each of these suits and kind of what the personality may be like of the person inside the suit. So take a look at these pictures and tell me what you think. Did I accurately portray what the suit is doing?
It was...
That was my favorite one.
I like that a lot.
Thank you so much for watching Sailing by Felicia. We want to take a second and thank our Patreon members. We really appreciate your support. It's helping us get new camera equipment and new gear. If you want to support Sailing by Felicia, please visit our Patreon. Any contributions are greatly appreciated.